I know it's something that I've struggled with for a number of years, and that is drifting. Because drifting is killing you. And the problem is, you know about it too. Hey, welcome into the Fire and Iron Show. My name is Reggie, and thank you so much for joining us today. This is third episode, and the first two episodes have gotten a great response, and I am so thankful that this is hitting a note. And I know it's hitting a note because of the comments, the feedback that I'm getting from the viewers, and I so appreciate you. The first two subjects definitely hit a chord, and this one I think is right in line with that. And before I dive into it, if you haven't checked us out on all the socials, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Fire Iron Show. Fire Iron Show is all of the handles with that, and then also Patreon. Okay, so I've had at least one or two different people ask me about Patreon and what it's all about. Basically, it's in the backstage of this podcast, right? So we go into a higher level, a deeper dive into these topics. And today, with this, we're going to have exclusive content there. So the first two episodes, we had exclusive content. We've got worksheets, we've got book recommendations, we've got exclusive interviews, we got exclusive, rants, episodes, things like that on Patreon. It's $5 a month. But again, that gets you full access to everything, and it helps support our channel, helps us put out, quality content like we've been doing, even better guests, upgrades to the, how we can deliver things to you. So, I appreciate you supporting this channel, viewing this, going over to Patreon, Fire Iron Show. If you go to patreon.com, Fire Iron Show, and definitely go check it out there. Today's topic is going to be one that you definitely probably have to watch a couple times. I know it's something that I've struggled with for a number of years, and that is drifting. Because drifting is killing you. And the problem is, you know about it too. You didn't wake up one day and just decide, you know what? I'm just not going to be present with, my kids anymore, or my spouse or my significant other. I'm just not going to work out anymore because I don't want to. I'm not going to pay attention financially because whatever. I'm going to stop, being connected to a higher level spiritually because, I'm just done with it. Most people do not have that kind of line in the sand moment. It's a slow drift away, right? Life gets busy. You lose your edge. You get involved with your kids' activities, or maybe you got a promotion at work and now you're busy and tied up with all that stuff, or maybe you're in this relationship and you just lose track of it, right? You get busy with life and you started drifting. And guess what? Now you look around, it's the new normal. Let this episode be a wake up call for you. Let it be the wake up call for you. And we're going to talk about it. Okay. We're going to dive into it here. And then again, on Patreon, we're going to go even deeper with it. And what do I mean by drifting? Well, it comes in different forms. You've got scrolling, you've got drinking, you've got overeating, you've got isolation, you've got numbing, basically non-presence. Like, how can I take myself out of my present day life? How can I numb myself with my spouse or my significant other, whatever you've got going on there? How can I not be present and just sleepwalk through my kid's life? Or a spiritual journey like we've talked about. How can I just go through the motions with, with God or with my higher being or whatever, whatever you want to connect with? How can I just cruise through on my financial goals and not pay attention to things? You are substituting these things. You are substituting these things instead of being present, instead of being focused. Now, I'm not saying you've got to be locked into your goals 24/7 and you've got to be up, all grind, 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 just do this, do this. I get it, right? You need time to unplug. You need time to chill. You need time to relax. But the difference is if you go 3 months without looking at your goals, without, being present in the lives of the people that you love and that you want to build relationships with and you want to grow with, if you haven't checked in with them, if you haven't been present for, 3 months, 6 months, a year or longer, you are definitely drifting. And it is a slippery, slippery slope. How does it happen? Well, again, I don't think it's a just a rash decision that you're making right away and then boom, one day you're hitting it and you're going after it and the next day you're just cold turkey done, right? So I think if you really break it down on how drifting happens, I think you've got a fear of failure, right? There's something deeply rooted inside that is, whether it's conscious and you know about it or it's subconscious and you don't know about it, there's a rooted fear of failure. Or you're worried about what people will say about you. You know, maybe it's as simple as you just get distracted because guess what? All the social media apps, all of them are designed to keep you on that app. They want your eyeballs for longer. So they're going to have more enticing videos. They're going to have all these different parts. And that's what these creators do is they have multiple parts to it because it's designed to keep you engaged, to keep you on that app, to keep you distracted. Other reasons why, maybe you don't believe you can achieve your goals. You've set out these big financial goals, but you really don't believe you can do it. So you're just like, nah, I'm going to scroll instead. It's just easier if I just do, this other stuff. Maybe you've tried before in the past to have a good relationship with your spouse or significant other, and it lets you down. And you've got that replaying over and over in your head. Or maybe you've, messed up financially and you have that playing over and over and over in your head. And you're like, you know what? Instead of dealing with it, instead of being disciplined, instead of taking action, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to look at that. So when you look at it, you've got to look at it from a bigger point of view, right? One of the biggest things that I love, when I'm flying is it is truly a picture of you above the earth, right? If you're on a plane and you're looking at it, you could just see the entire city. Outside of Detroit, or you're flying over Chicago, or you're coming into Dallas, or you're flying over Atlanta, you could see the entire city right there. Or even, this is even a good one too, if it's a small town and you can just see the blocks and all the stuff around it, and it's just a small little town, and you're like, geez, that's not very big. But you get down on the ground level and driving through that, it's a totally different perspective. And that's what I want you to do with this mindset right now, is take yourself out of your own life and put yourself 20, 30,000 feet above and really think about, what does it truly cost me? Most people would probably think, what's the big deal? I go to work, I work hard, I'm loyal to my spouse, enough loyal to my spouse. I work hard, I provide. I should be able to just chill. I should just be able to just totally veg out every day. And I understand that. But let's say you've got kids. they are also depending on you to show up. And again, this is not a you've got to be locked in 24/7. And if you're not, then you're missing the boat big time. That is not this talk. It is a are you checking in? Are you being intentional about your time with your kids? Are you being intentional about your time with your spouse or significant other? Are you being intentional with your workouts and when you do them? Are you being intentional about your spirituality and, connecting to a higher source? Are you being intentional about your finances and making sure that you are staying on top of them? That's what I'm talking about. Because you I promise you, at some point in your life, you will look back and you will see the amount of years and time and money and all of that you've just wasted. Even to bring it home a little bit more, when I talk about my kids, it really really rocks me because they just mean so much to me. And I always look at it from a point of what example am I setting for my children? You know, we live in a constant state of breakdown. That's just the way the world works. If you set something outside and you let Mother Nature take over, the sun, the rain, the cold, the earth will just break that object down. I don't care what it is, but it will start to break it down. And because it takes effort to build things up, right? If we don't put effort into our significant others, our spouses, what's going to happen to that relationship? It's going to go bad. What's going to happen to a relationship with your children if you don't pour into them? If you aren't there for them, if you don't check in with them, if you don't do that on a regular basis, your relationship is going to get worse. Same financially. If you don't take care of your finances, you're going to be wondering where all your money went. If you don't take care of your body, your pants aren't going to fit the same way, right? We live in a constant state of breakdown, and all the time it will get worse and worse and worse. And again, you're going to look back over the last 5 to 10 years and you're going to say, what did I do with my time? Because all those videos that you're scrolling, they don't mean anything. They typically, you don't remember them. The Facebook updates, the Instagram, all that stuff. But what if you invested that time into relationships? Would you have a better marriage over the next 5 to 10 to 20 years? Would you have a better relationship with your kids over the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years? Would you feel better about yourself if you exercised instead of scrolling and you were consistent with that exercise? Do you think that you would feel better about your body? Would your body appreciate that because it's not breaking down? So the big question is, how do I course correct? How do I get from where I'm at right now and I'm just going through life, through the motions, and I'm just trying to survive and I'm just trying to get through the day and I just want, how do I do that to I am living life on purpose? I am not drifting. I am, present with my children. I am present in, my relationship with my spouse. I am present with my spirituality. I am present with my finances. I am present with my body, and I am on purpose. Well, just like everything, the number one foundation is you have to realize the situation that you're in. You have to realize that you've been drifting and you need to be honest with yourself. You need to take responsibility because I think, and I've talked about this before, is once you can start taking responsibility over your own life, then you can start building upon that. Not blaming other people, not blaming situations, but taking responsibility and saying, you know what? It's on me, but no more. Okay. That's where the power is. When you take responsibility, you give yourself power to change the situation. Otherwise, you're going to be dependent on other people to change or to make amends with you to give you the power back to change that situation. So, the number one thing is you have to realize that you've been drifting and you have to be honest with yourself. Take responsibility. Number two is you have to realize that the past is done. There's nothing you can do about the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last year, the last 3 years, the last 5 years, the last 10 years, the last 15 years, whatever it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So don't beat yourself up over it anymore, okay? Because I promise you that you probably have been beating yourself up over it. Use it as motivation. The biggest thing you can do in this situation is use it as motivation and be grateful. Why would you be grateful, right? Why would you be grateful for this situation? Because you get a chance at change. You get a chance to make a comeback. All right. And that's what I want you to focus on. Use this as motivation that, you know what, damn it, I've screwed up over the last 5 years. I screwed up over the last 10 years, whatever it is. But you know what? I'm not going to let that be the end of the story. I am not going to let that be, how my kids remember me, how my spouse remembers me that way. It's a part of your story, right? And you realized it and you realize you can't do anything about it, but you'll be damned if you let this happen again for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it's been. The number three thing is you need to get a coach or a mentor to help you. Basically, with two things is what I'm seeing. Number one is you need to put together a game plan. You need to put together goals, an action plan to help you get from drifting to intentionality, right? And that is what a coach, a mentor, or somebody like that can do for you. And number two is accountability, because just the way life works, you will be motivated. And we've talked about this before in the past with discipline. You'll be motivated for a little bit. But guess what? You can't depend on motivation. You have to be disciplined. And be smart. Know yourself, right? If you need a coach, then get a coach. Now, we here at Fire and Iron, we're going to be launching coaching real soon, probably in the next couple months. So send me a message and we can start it early, but we will have group coaching. We'll have one-on-one coaching. I'm working all the details out and getting all that, the platforms and everything together right now. But accountability through a coach is huge. So send me a message and I can help you through this. Okay. Number four, how do you course correct through drifting? Number one, we've got to realize that you've been drifting. Number two, realize there's nothing you can do about the past, but also know that, hey, I'm going to use this as motivation and I'm going to be grateful for the opportunity to change. Number three is get a mentor or a coach, somebody that can help put a game plan together and somebody that can hold you accountable. Number four is you need to chart your progress. The reason that drifting works so well is because you don't realize how much time is going by. And it just one day rolls into a next, which rolls into another week, which rolls into another month, which rolls into another 6 months, and so on and so forth. But if you chart your progress on a daily basis, you will see it. And you will hold yourself. There's a mini accountability meeting every day with yourself, right? Be accountable to your daily goals. And you need to put in fail safes in your environment. Again, if you can know yourself in your shortcomings, I have to do this to myself. I have app restrictions on TikTok, on Facebook. I have to have app restrictions because I get sucked into it too. Have a workout partner. If you need to go to an AA meeting because of substance abuse or things like that, you know, that is there to help you. Get into groups to help you in your situation and chart your progress. Number 5 is to get others involved in your journey. And others, I mean, you know, accountability groups online are fine. I'm not here to dog on them, but you need somebody in your life that is close to you. Get your kids involved in your situation. Get your spouse or your significant other. Get a trusted friend or a coworker. Have multiple accountability partners that want to see you stop drifting. They want to see a better version of you too. Your kids, I don't care what relationship you have with your kids right now. I promise you, at their heart of hearts, they want a better relationship with you. They want to see you as the man going after goals, being accountable, leading the family from the front, and not just drifting through life. Set an example, put a line in the sand, and make it happen. So, my question to you is, where are you drifting right now? If you look at the pillars, right? We have these pillars of your relationships with your spouse and your kids, with your physical body, your personal development, spirituality, financially. Where are you drifting right now? Because out of those, 5 or 6 pillars, odds are there's somewhere you're drifting, right? And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you. Send me a message. Again, we've got coaching that's coming up, and we'll definitely do that. But in the meantime, if you need help, I am here for you. Send me a message. Let me know how I can help you. Right after this, we're going to be doing Patreon. So we're going to dive more into drifting. Okay. I've got a personal story I'm going to share, talking about drifting and what I've done for myself. We're going to have a couple worksheets and journaling prompts to help guide you, to help take this on head on, right? No more drifting. Also, I've got a couple book recommendations that I know are going to help you stop drifting and start taking charge of your life. So if you haven't done so already, go over to Patreon, search up Fire Iron Show, patreon.com, Fire Iron Show, and go check that out. It's $5 a month. You get exclusive stuff over there. Also, if you haven't checked us out on the socials, love to connect with you there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Fire Iron Show. So if you haven't subscribed or liked our page yet, please do so. Appreciate that. Also, check out our website, Fire Iron Show, fireironshow.com, fireironshow.com. Just go check that out. And again, we'll have coaching. We'll have coaching launched here over the next couple months. So definitely stay tuned for that. And again, I just thank you so much for tuning in to the Fire and Iron Show. Again, my name is Reggie, and the Fire and Iron Show, we are here to help you ignite your potential and forge your future. Hey, we'll see you next time.